but the attorney is pushing back on it, and he's saying, well, look, the reason why Fannie Pack Willis gave the plea deal is because she wasn't ready. Right? Her case is weak, it's falling apart, and this is why she's doing this. Okay, that's why this is happening. They don't have anything. Now remember, these people, right? These co-defendants, they separated themselves from everybody else. They wanted speedy trials, and they got what they wanted in regards to the speedy trials, and they basically offered this guy a golden parachute, basically. Okay, they basically kind of let him off. I don't think he's going to jail. And if you look at the facts of the case, okay, this is what mainstream media is not telling you. If you actually watch the plea deal kind of ceremony in court where they're offering the plea deal with Sidney Powell in her case, Trump was not mentioned at all, right? For whatever reason, her lawyer was able to not even have Trump mentioned at all. Now, when it comes to Kenneth Chesebro, okay, in the kind of statement of facts, they do mention Trump a lot. However, that statement of facts can be overly broad in the sense that, Kenneth Chesebro can come back and say, hey, you can say all those things, but I only pleaded guilty to this charge, right? Even though I'm part of it, but I only pleaded guilty to this one specific charge, and that is why his lawyer is telling CNN and MSNBC that don't just jump the gun here and think that his testimony is going to be helpful. And I want you guys to understand, again, this is also what mainstream is not telling, right? Fannie Willis, her case is so bad, right, that, again, they gave these guys, like, basically nothing, right? They basically let them off in the sense that all they got to do, Sidney Powell and Kenneth Chesebro, is just build good behavior, don't violate their probation, and basically their charges go away. It's almost as if they were convicted of nothing. It's not even really information, right? It's gonna it's gonna go away. It's basically a diversion program. And again, the mainstream liberal media, they're not talking about that, right? The only thing they're talking about, this is so bad for Trump, this is terrible for Trump. But it's like, again, if you actually watch the plea deals, right? If you actually watch it, you're like, wait, what are they getting out of this, right? What's happening here? Like, they're not going to jail. They sit on probation, and as long as they don't do anything, essentially, they're going to get off, right? They can honestly say, I've never been convicted.
You're asking for first offender, so once you can also say that you're not convicted of a felony, and I'll go with that.
Yes, I understand. So what did she actually get? She didn't get anything. Again, because they don't have anything, right? They wanted to send this man to jail. They wanted to send Kenneth Chesebro to jail, right? And the lawyers was like, no, unless you give us another plea deal, we're not going to. Or we're going to go to trial. And it was like, okay, well, we'll give you a better plea deal. Because even Fannie Pack Willis didn't want it to go to trial. They didn't want to go to trial because they don't have anything. Again, they're accusing this guy of being the architect of the so-called fake electors plot. And basically, they gave this man the best plea deal in the world because they don't have anything. Okay? Not because he's going to screw up Trump. There's no guarantee. This is what liberal media is saying. That's how they're trying to justify it. Right? Oh, he's going to screw up Trump. We don't know that. His lawyer is saying that probably not, right? That's what he said. But just saying, we'll see. Trump's attorney said of this, right, the fact that the RICO charges were dismissed against this guy, they said, quote, it is very important for everyone to note that the RICO racketeering charge was dismissed. Trump's lawyer said, I fully expect that truthful testimony would be favorable to my defense strategy. So what you have here, right, is a situation where if you believe the mainstream liberal media, this guy is going to go into the racketeering trial case, and he's going to rat Trump out, right? He's going to basically prove that Trump is guilty. Even though, again, this guy did not plead guilty to being a part of the larger criminal scheme, right? If you believe them, that's what's going to happen. However, if you believe his lawyer and Trump's lawyers, they're saying, hey, look, the RICO charges got dismissed. Fannie Pack Willis did not seem to be ready. She seems to be over her skis, right? Which I personally believe, okay? I personally believe that. Now, again, you know, I'm not saying that this necessarily helps Trump. I really don't know. I don't know if it hurts him either. What I do know is that the mainstream liberal media pushing this narrative that somehow, some way, this is a nail in Trump's coffin. When, again, this guy didn't even plead guilty to the RICO charge, which is the most serious one. Again, it's just hilarious because what they're trying to do is play off people's ignorance. But if you actually listen to the lawyer, Paul Kenneth Cheesebro, he's saying, look, if I was the state, I wouldn't call this guy. If they actually want to find Trump guilty, I would call this guy because I don't think that his testimony is going to be helpful. Who knows? Maybe, just maybe, this testimony might actually be helpful for the defense. But again, you know, it's just pretty fascinating to see the narrative from the liberal media and then you actually pay attention to what lawyers are saying. And again, that's his lawyer, so of course he's going to say whatever he can to make his client look good or in the best light. So, you know, again, I guess you can only take his word with a grain of salt, but still, right? I believe him when he says that, you know, hey, his client is not implicating anybody himself, and that, who knows, maybe, you know, if the state actually does call him to be a witness, it's not going to work out well for the state. They're not going to gain anything from it. But again, we have to see. But from what I do know, again, stop paying attention to the mainstream media. If you look at just the facts here, Fannie Willis charged all these people with these RICO charges, this grand scheme where you have people like Sidney Powell, Kenneth Cheesebro are supposed to be the lieutenants of Trump, the mob boss, right? And she's not even getting convictions on a RICO charge, right? Again, they told us this was a plot to overthrow the United States, guys, right? This is what they told us. So again, the fact that she's not even getting the lieutenants in the RICO tells you that it's weak. This is a very weak case. Like, this is falling apart. Right? It's falling apart from the beginning because she had nothing from the beginning. This was politically motivated, right? And the mainstream media is carrying her water by going out here and pretending that this is some W for Fannie Willis when it's not a W. Right? Again, it can go both ways. Sidney Powell, Kenneth Chesborough, they can testify. The testimony can go both ways. They don't necessarily have to come out here and say, oh, well, Trump was the mob boss, and he directed us to do this and that and the other. They don't have to do that. Right? But again, that's not a story that the mainstream media is telling people. But then again, there are some people that say, oh, well, you know, the prosecutors can use this because these are guilty pleas. These people work for the Trump campaign. It's doom and gloom for Trump, which, I mean, who knows? Again, this stuff is so politically motivated. It could be, right? It could be, but, you know, I'm just saying, it's just funny watching this lawyer basically push back against the narrative here that, you know, this guy is going to snitch or going to flip on